Hey, this is Brian B back with another tutorial. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you a couple different things you can do to regular letters to create that really dynamic, eye-catching graffiti type of effect. So as you can tell, these are the ABCs, and these are at face value, meaning there's nothing applied to it, no effects, and it just looks straight up boring. Okay, so if you haven't seen my other videos on creating letters just yet, this part of the letter is the pillar, this part is the bridge, and these are the pillars again. So pillar, bridge, pillar. So the bridge is what's connecting one side of the letter together with the other side of the letter. Again, this is pillar, pillar, and bridge. Okay, so this is at face value. So one thing you can do to the letters to start making it more dynamic and engaging is apply perspective. Now what I mean by applying perspective is if you see a house at like right up front, you know, just as it is, it's gonna look like a square, right? It's gonna be a house. But if you look at it from the side, or if you crouch down and looked up at the house, it's gonna start turning into something different. There's gonna be a vanishing point, and then boom, like that, you're gonna see a different shape to that square. So when you apply that type of concept to your lettering or to your pillars of the lettering, it starts to change around, and then the B from here turns into something like this when the perspective is applied to it. C turns into something like this, and the A turns into something like this. So you can see there's a vanishing point here, boom, there's a vanishing point here, and the vanishing point is here for the C. Actually, there's two. The C is like boom, like that. Here's the vanishing point number one, number two. Okay, so once you apply perspective, it'll turn into something like this. More engaging right off the bat, right? Okay, so to restart that, taking it back to face value, if you apply the effect of contrast to it, then it turns into something like this. Now contrast is the contrast between the two pillars or the bridges. So you can tell here, one pillar is way bigger than the other pillar. Okay, so the A turns into something like this. Pretty funky. I mean, it's not really a graffiti type of style, but you can easily manipulate this into something that's a lot more interesting and put your own flavor, put your own style into it. So the B is all blown up in different sizes. The pillar is really big, bridge is really, really small, and then the pillar is actually chopped up into two different sections. So C, boom, huge pillar, small bridge, huge pillar. So that is an example of the contrast, right? Okay, so let's move on real quickly. Now the next one here is flow. Flow is probably the hardest one to describe, and it takes a little bit of practice. There are a couple different principles and rules to it, but the rules are bendable, and as long as you change the flow of it correctly, it's gonna look really nice. Okay, so I apply some pretty basic flow to the lettering, so it looks something like this. The B is a little bit more complex, but you know, still relatively basic. B, flow, got the flow going. All right, so you can tell it's got these flowing or the lines that are not straight lines. Okay, pretty basic, right? So A, B, C with flows applied to it. Now once you combine the perspective with the contrast and the flow, and then you put your own style into it, you get something like this. You can tell, boom, right off the bat, it's got the top of the pillar is smaller than the bottom of the pillar, not by much in this case, but you can tell that's the perspective being applied to the pillars, and then we got the flow going on, boom, really dynamic. The bridge is all cut up like that, and then the contrast not so much, but you can tell the size difference is still, you can still see the size difference, so to speak. Okay, same with B, a lot of things going on. You got the flow, we got major contrast, and then yeah, and then we got the perspective going too, of course. And then this C is the same thing, majorly changed up. Kind of looks like an alien in this case, which is pretty cool. Okay, so to recap real quickly, what you want to do is you can do a couple different things to the face value of the letters. You can apply perspective, which you find the vanishing point and then turn it into something more or less of a triangle. Apply perspective, and then you can apply contrast, which is making a pillar smaller and then blowing a pillar up. or shrinking the bridge or blowing out the bridge, whatever. And then you can do that to the different letters. Or you can apply flow to your letters like that. And then if you combine one or two or three of them together, you'll get something completely different, which is like that. Okay, so I hope that was helpful, and this is the introduction, I guess you can say, for creating graffiti style of letters or graphics. Again, I hope this was helpful. Stay tuned for more tutorials. This is Brian B. Talk to you soon. I hope you liked this video. Make sure to check out my website to get the free Urban Design Crash Course program. In this program, you're going to learn 3 fundamental design skills and a bunch of cool stuff. Alright, so I'll see you there.